ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Friday, June 14th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour, 304-396-TALK. That's 304-396-8255. Coming up today, we're going to hear from Tommy Gregg, win over the Flyboys last night in Appalachian League Baseball. Game 3 belongs to your Coldcats. Game 4 is coming up tonight. We've got the game for you. It's 6:50 airtime right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Jason Toy and Woody Woodrum will wrap up the series at Jack Cook Field. So we'll hear from the victorious manager last night. And, of course, we're going to get your text in this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So how's everyone's Friday so far as we get set for the weekend? We got a lot to get into today. A couple things we're going to dive into later. We know that there's a lot of pushing right now for more revenue streams. And the story that's been gaining traction, of course, it's been interesting to follow along, is that the Big 12 is going to be exploring selling its naming rights, title sponsor. So no longer will it be the Big 12. It would be possibly the All-State 12, something like that. Conference USA is also looking into something like this. And, of course, I think that, one, it's a great way to increase your revenue. Two, it's sort of we're surrendering a little bit because of the fact that we just don't have the money intake that the others have. And I'm talking about, of course, the Big Ten and the SEC. Do you think the Big Ten is going to change the Big Ten? You think the SEC is going to change what the SEC name is as a league? I mean, that's the power of the brand right there. The SEC, the Big Ten, those are the brands that you want to be associated with. I mean, the Big 12 looking for revenue streams right now. And, of course, I'm sure the ACC might have to weigh this as well because for a lot of people, that's the brand, ACC. Now, if the Sun Belt did something like this, I mean, the Sun Belt's a good brand. But if the Sun Belt did something like this, would it be as detrimental to the brand? Would the money be worth it? Yeah, I would think you would want a lot of revenue for this. So that's interesting. We keep an eye on that as far as what is going to happen. What if the Sun Belt did decide to sell its naming rights? What would the perfect sponsorship opportunity be for the Sun Belt? What would be that brand? You want a lot of money out of this. What would that brand be? Of course, we'll explore that with you. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So that's a big deal in college athletics. And, of course, we've got a busy night throughout the rest of the weekend starting tonight. We've got the NBA Finals tonight, Game 4. Boston leading the series 3-0, 7:30 airtime on our sister station, Cat Sports, 93.3 and 1340. Celtics are looking to win a NBA record-setting 18th championship. We're tied with the Lakers right now. Of course, the Celtics were the almost insurmountable mountain for the Lakers for the longest time, and then the Lakers finally caught up to be on par with them. Now, the Celtics are looking to take that lead back. It'll be the first NBA title, believe it or not, in 16 years. 16 years since the Celtics have hoisted a championship, and they would then become, once again, the winningest NBA franchise with its 18th championship. Florida Panthers looking to do the same this weekend, 1 game away from winning their first title in franchise history, beating Edmonton 4-3 in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. So the Panthers lead 3-0. This was the first Stanley Cup Final with fans in Edmonton since 2006. So Edmonton, if it wants to come back, it's got to go 4 straight. It's only been done 4 times in the NHL playoff history, and only once in the Stanley Cup. That was 1942. Of course, the curse of Paul Swann continues. The last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup was Montreal in 1993. That game was the winning game was against the LA Kings and my hockey hero, Wayne Gretzky, where I promptly cursed the Canadians. I just didn't know what kind of power I was wielding. I cursed all Canadian teams, apparently. They haven't won a cup in Canada since. I cursed the Canadians. I was so mad. I'm not going to lie. In 1993, I was so mad about the Kings not winning the Stanley Cup. I mean, I'm a Gretzky fan. I started with Gretzky. I ended with Gretzky. I'm a Gretzky fan through and through. And it's been interesting, to say the least, that the series has gone decidedly towards Florida 3 in a row. This has got to be something that ESPN wasn't banking on. You wanted 6 or 7. You wanted to have a compelling final. Same thing with the NBA. I don't know if 4-game sweeps are good for a final. I mean, this is your final? 4-game sweep? Boston Celtics fans would disagree. Florida Panthers fans would disagree. But is this what you want for your sport? 4-game sweep? Definitely not compelling hockey, definitely not compelling basketball, but the Mavericks could be eliminated and the Celtics could hoist that trophy. We've got the game coming up tonight, again, on our sister station, Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340. And then, of course, we've got Sun Belt stuff to get into today. The men's soccer schedule with WVU has been announced, because West Virginia released its schedule, and it's going to play Marshall on the final game of the regular season at Hoops Family Field on November 5th. That is going to be at 7:15 p.m. Of course, this is the Mountain State Derby. Series was tied last year, 1 game apiece. Of course, the Mountaineers ended Marshall's undefeated run last season. It was a 5-2 score. West Virginia got the drop early on the herd and then just would not give that up. And let me tell you, it's a rivalry. Those fans, those kids, they really got into that win over Marshall. Don't let any Mountaineer fan tell you it's not a rivalry. I got video to show otherwise. They were really into that, and they took pride in beating the Thundering Herd. Of course, Marshall would advance to the championship of the Sun Belt and the tournament, and, of course, win the tournament title, won another trophy for Chris Grassie's trophy collection. They're going to expand probably at the soccer field eventually just for all the trophies that Marshall keeps. Just Grassie joked one time, we walk over them, we step over them. Need more room, Coach, for all those trophies, all those the awards that you're winning. And then Thundering Herd's going to play in Lexington against the Wildcats on Friday, November 1st. That, of course, is confirmed as well. So 2 of the biggest games on the schedule will be that WVU game and that Kentucky game. Marshall also splitting the series last season versus Kentucky. A 1-1 series record, 2-0 loss at home. And then the Sun Belt semifinal, it was a home win against the Wildcats. So the Herd got its revenge in the tournament, didn't it? We'll take it. Regular season means everything to Chris Grassie, but you know what? He's not turning that trophy down in the tournament. Absolutely not. This is the bigger rivalry. I think the WVU rivalry will eventually get there. If it's not already close, it might have overtaken it. But for me, I think this one dates back a lot longer, back to 1991, as far as consistency. And these were programs that were in the Mid-American Conference and then Conference USA. Kentucky getting into the Sun Belt because the Sun Belt has proven to be an excellent soccer conference. Kentucky and Marshall. I think which one's the bigger deal to you? Kentucky or West Virginia? In soccer. No other sports. Soccer. Kentucky or Marshall? Kentucky, West Virginia. Is that a big rivalry? Or Marshall, West Virginia? I mean, which one's the bigger matchup? Because I think that Kentucky-West Virginia matchup's pretty big too. It's getting there. But as far as Marshall fans are concerned, the only 2 we concern ourselves with, is it Marshall and Kentucky the bigger rivalry? Is it Marshall and West Virginia? Is that the bigger rivalry? Or will Kentucky and West Virginia spite Marshall and go, no, our rival with those guys is the biggest rival, just to spite the Herd? All right, text line's going to be open, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We're going to hear from Tommy Gregg coming up on your Friday edition of The Drive. Coldcats win last night. Can they do it again? We've got the game for you coming up tonight. It's 6:50 right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Tommy Gregg coming up. We'll get his thoughts on the victory, and we'll look ahead to everything that is happening this weekend as well. I'm your host, Paul Swann. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Saving money on everything for your next project at Menards. It doesn't matter what job you're up against. Works, cordless power tools, and lawn equipment have the power for you to get the job done faster and easier. The PowerShare 20-volt batteries run longer on a single charge, and they can be used with other tools. Check out Menards' entire selection of Works, cordless power tools, and lawn equipment. Plus the weekly flyer today on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a Colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This Friday night, the Tri-State Coldcats are saluting the state champion baseball Cabell Midland Knights. The champs will be throwing out the honorary first pitch and singing during the 7th inning stretch. Congratulate the Knights this Friday at the ballpark. And don't forget, Wednesday night is Dollar Dog Night. Thursday night is $2 Labatt's Draft Beer Night. Baseball, it's back this week with the Greenville Flyboys. The Tri-State Coldcats, be there for all the fun at Jack Cook Field. Dollar Dog Night Wednesday, $2 draft on Thursday, and a salute to the Cabell Knights Baseball State Championship on Friday.
Here's another Kindred Communications community chatter. The Cabell Huntington Health Department's conducting a series of evening vaccine clinics this summer. The dates are June 3rd, July 1st, August 5th, and September 9th, taking place from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the department at 703 7th Avenue. No appointment is necessary.
This Kindred Communications community chatter brought to you by the providers at Marshall OBGYN, online at marshallhealth.com/OBGYN.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Join parents and experts at Understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues designed to help you help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything. Brought to you by Understood.org and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Friday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour is going to be 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Cats get the victory last night against the Greenville Flyboys 5-3. We've got Game 4 of that series coming up tonight. 6:50 is our airtime here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The Cats started off hot. Got back-to-back hits in the first inning, leadoff single from C.J. Richards and a double from Isaac Turner. The next at-bat, Trent Alderman would get an RBI ground out to score C.J. Richards as the Cats would lead 1-0 after the first inning. And then the Cats would hold the Flyboys hitless through the first 2 innings, only allowed 1 base runner in that span. Third inning, the Flyboys answered back. That's okay. Game tied up 1 apiece. Flyboys took the lead in the 5th inning, scored 2 runs, and then the Cats would come back. Bottom of the 5th, scored a run. Trent Alderman, once again, second RBI of the game with an RBI single, scored Cooper McKenzie. Cats trailed after 5, 3-2. Both teams then would go scoreless until the bottom of the 8th inning. Cats would once again start the offense, lighting up, and they scored 3 runs. Bottom of the 8th started with a Chase Chaplin single, a Ryan Limerick and Matt Ilgenfritz follow-up, with Limerick reaching first on a fielding error and Ilgenfritz reaching on a single to load the bases. And then Jack Smith, bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th, brought home the winning run, hitting a 2-run RBI double to center field, gave the Cats the 5-3 win. Cats have now won 4 out of the last 5. They lead the series 2-1. They can lock up the series win tonight, and they finish with 10 hits after having a combined 5 in the first 2 games of the series. Also out-hit the Flyboys 10-8. Cats manager Tommy Gregg, after the game, he's got to be happy. Things are starting to light up. He talked about more so the impressive defensive performance and how he was pleased with the way the hitters put balls into play, especially in 2-strike situations.
Yeah, they're a good team over there, and they're athletic. So, again, our pitching did a really good job staying in the zone. Our defense played really well, got some ground ball double plays, and then our offense came alive, We got on base early, scored, came back, scored, tied it up, all that. But, we had clutch hitting. Guys weren't trying to do too much. They were trying to make contact. Even with 2 strikes, guys were choking up a little bit, just trying to put it in play. Like Jack Smith, right there with 2 strikes, he choked up and just spread out and just used his hands, hit a ground ball up the middle. That's a huge hit, obviously, to give us the win. But, and of course, we got David coming in, closing down.
Speaking of Jack Smith, said that the key to the game in his winning 2-run RBI double was just keeping his mind sharp. And he also talked about how great it feels to just have such a great play, and especially doing that at home.
Nothing really, just trying not to bring that bat to a bat and just forget everything, just swing out there, put a ball in play, score the run. Feels great being on my home field, just playing every day. Just feels great.
Cats with the victory, and Tommy talked about Trent Alderman's impact across his first 2 games.
Yeah, so even the first day of BP, that when he got here, I noticed how good his swing was. That's why you saw him in the 3-hole today, right? Because I have that intuition. He has his very simple approach. That's what we're looking for. Some of these guys get caught up in these big open stances and big stride, long, trying to kill the ball. He just spreads out, doesn't even really stride. He just uses his hands, and he's going to give you a good at-bat majority of the time. So really like what I'm seeing with him.
So how's Tommy going to keep the Cats' inconsistent offense hot after last night?
Well, when you win like this and your offense is doing well and your defense is playing well and you got the pitching we have, hopefully it continues to go to the next day. That's my job, to keep them motivated and keep them enthused about coming to the park tomorrow. And tomorrow we have a camp day early, so I'm going to kind of give them a day off for BP, keep them fresh. And that's one thing, it's starting to get hot, so I got to make sure I'm limiting our BP on the field and keep them out of the sun as much as possible.
Cats back in action coming up tonight, 6:50's airtime right here on ESPN 94.1 AM 930. Jason Toy, Woody Woodrum will bring you all the action from Jack Cook Field. East standings look like this. Bluefield still leads the way, 6-2. Tri-State right up there now, 4-3. The Burlington Sock Puppets 4-4. It'll be the Danville Otterbots 3-4, and then the Pulaski River Turtles 3-5. West looks like this: Bristol 5-3, followed by the Flyboys at 4-3. Axemen are right there at 3-4. So those are probably your best three teams in the West. Elizabethton 3-5, then Johnson City also set at 3-5. And that's a look at what the Appalachian League looks like. For more on the Cold Cats, 6:50, our airtime tonight right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Jason Toy and Woody Woodrum will have all the action live from the ballpark. Should be another great night for baseball as the Cold Cats wrap up this portion of the home schedule. Couple on the road, off day, then back at it for another 6-game homestand. We'll get your text in this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hey there, baseball fans. Are you craving a home run of flavor? Step up to the plate and swing for the fences with sliders from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe. Whether you're a fan of French dip, fried bologna, Reuben, or Southern fried chicken, the Marshall Cafe has sliders that'll knock it out of the park. Each order comes with a side of fries, rounding out your winning lineup.
Take me out to the ball game.
Slide into Flavortown with sliders from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe on the corner of Fun and 3rd Avenue, downtown Huntington.
Get in the groove. Downtown Huntington's premier weekly music event is back. It's Mount West 9th Street Live, presented by New Trail, Garage Beer, Big Truck, The Beast, La Marca Prosecco, and Matua Sauvignon Blanc. This Friday, it's College Career Center night with Jeremy Short and special guest Jace Turley on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Gomart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy food and drinks from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station. Mark your calendar for June 21st for a ticket to ride to 9th Street Live, a celebration of the Beatles with the Newbies. Friday, August 2nd, 9th Street is Dead, featuring John Ingram's Dead Center and the music of the Grateful Dead. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 16th. 9th Street Live is driven by Yes Chevy, Yes Ford every Friday night through Labor Day. 9th Street in Huntington between 3rd and 4th Avenues. Sponsored by Delta Hotels, Marshall OBGYN, Wendy's, Mountain Mindful, City of Huntington, Marshall University, Impact Media, Xfinity, and Kendrick Communications.
Stop by Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off Super Paint products and Super Deck stains from June 14th through the 24th. It's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
You know, there's something about a truck you can count on and that SUV that's been on every family vacation for a decade. TikTok Tire and Uniroyal know your truck or family car is only as reliable as the tires underneath it. And that's why Uniroyal made the Laredo AT Tire and HT Tire to be the tires you trust. You know, like you trust your truck, your SUV, or TikTok Tire. Uniroyal Laredo AT and Laredo HT. See where 130 years of value takes you. For more information, stop into TikTok Tire, 2102 3rd Avenue, Huntington, right across from the stadium, or call 304-525-7831.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
You saved my life. You held my hand when I was scared. You helped me say goodbye to my dad. You were an example for me. You gave me strength when I thought I had none left. I couldn't tell you then, but I want to say thank you, all of you, for everything. thank you to the physicians, nurses, and others working in America's hospitals and health systems. A message from the American Hospital Association, American Medical Association, and American Nurses Association.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Friday edition, The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK. That's 304-396-8255. Don't forget, coming up tonight, Coldcats baseball, 6:50 airtime. Listen to it right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Also, you can stream that game on our website. Head over to WRVC.com for the radio feed. Always, every single home game right here on your home of the Coldcats. That's ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So there's been a lot of talk over the last few days about what happened, Board of Governors meeting, and we're looking forward to really getting into it in detail over the next couple of weeks. As still, there's like a wish list, a shopping list of things that the athletic department would like, lots of capital projects, and this is going to be for several years. This isn't all going to be done just right away, but they're looking at some things that, I'm looking at the Board of Governors regular meeting report. This is from the 12th, and there's some things that they want to do. And, of course, a lot of this is capital projects, not just for the athletic department, but for the university. Here's one that, again, I'm just going to go down the list of some of the things that, I hope that we can get into here over the next few weeks. Is one, the athletic band and sports performance upgrade. The description on this was to renovate existing athletic training space and band space on the A level of the arena, and then turn that into an improved AT area for all athletes in the building. And the university also, or the department, wants to partner with University Sports Science Department to provide additional lab area and turn that band space into a strength and conditioning space. So that's one item that was on the capital project list. Also, another project that they're looking at doing, they want to do a lot of things with signage. Gullickson Hall, they got some roof replacement that needs to be happening there. So that's always important. They want to do, finally, the air conditioning. They want to do that finally, Henderson Center. I don't know if you knew this. This is not widely known, but the Henderson Center is not air conditioned. So what they want to happen here, get the HVAC system installed, and then turn the venue into a place for special events well beyond the purpose of basketball and volleyball. So there's no heating, there's no ventilation, there's no air conditioning, and Gullickson Hall Gymnasium. We talked to Ari Agnes a couple of days ago. Look, you can't do much there now. We talked to Christian Spears. They want to do things that make these spaces more usable because those are underutilized facilities. And if you don't have proper heating and cooling, they're not really good facilities for projects in the dead of summer and in the cold of winter. So they could possibly do more. They want to do something. This is more of a inside baseball thing they want to do. Is they want to upgrade all the signage, video production equipment, the monitors for the creative team. This is in the Henderson Center Creative Suite. That is a space that they took over a few years ago, and that was where media used to be for post-game comments and things like that. So they want to use this space a lot better. They use it now to shoot social media, headshots. They make videos there. They hold press conferences, or at least they want to. And they want to promote the athletic programs more by having more of a well-rounded facility there. And then they want to also replace student and band bleachers and the faculty area or the facility. They're right now, they're junk. I'm just going to be blunt about it. The polite way to describe it would be state of disrepair is what the report says. Look, it's long overdue. Those things, you need to reseat that arena. It's long overdue. You want to reseat that arena. You have to. I mean, reconfigure it. Long term, I hope they reconfigure it. If you're not going to get a new arena, you might as well turn that arena seating arrangement into something that's a lot better. And so that's going to be important, I think, to the long-term use of the Henderson Center. You just need to redo that. They redo that. They utilize that space better. I mean, I think there's a lot of wasted space, behind those temporary bleachers as well. There's a lot of space that could do some different things. I would like to see them bowl it a little bit more, round it out. That's just my wish list. I'm not the athletic director, so I don't get to make those decisions. But if I had the money and the ability, I would reconfigure that arena the best of my ability, what is feasible, and try to make that as comfortable and a safe experience as I possibly could. Also, in Jones C. Edwards and in the Henderson Center, they want to have premium seating. What does that mean? Well, they want to renovate targeted seating areas in both the stadium and the arena. They want to offer various new and diverse premium seating options. I would love to see what the workup is on that, what the blueprints, the plans are. And then something they really need to do, and I'm on board with this 100%, concourse gates expansion. They want to expand the areas. They need to be expanded to, as the report said, to allow more space for spectators and to help with emergency egress, and also improves functionality and safety in preparation for campus carry. That's going to be a big driver of a lot of this, because campus carry is coming, and so you're going to have to do everything you possibly can to make sure that you have a safe and a legal facility. You're going to have to make adjustments to deal with the legality, and you're going to have to make adjustments to deal with the safety. But that's going to be something that's going to need to happen. And then they want to remove the old video board from the Shuey building in the north end zone. I have not been a fan of that ever. Not been a fan of that. I didn't like it when they originally put the original board on the Shuey. I always thought it should be above the Shuey. I don't know how feasible that would be compared to just bolting that thing on, but I never liked the look of the Shuey after they put that video board in, that scoreboard. I get you want to have some functionality there. I would have liked it maybe above the Shuey more so than front of the Shuey. I think that would look better. Just my opinion. Again, I'm not the athletic director. I can make suggestions. He doesn't have to take those suggestions. So if they remove it, would they replace it or just make the big board the premium board? Just make that the board, not have the second board. I don't know if you need the second board, do you? I mean, we become accustomed to having it, but do you need the second board? I would like to see if you have that maybe just above, because they want to do some other things with Shuey. I know that, and so that would definitely open it up. Okay, here's the big one, and again, I'm going off the minutes and the meeting file. Bathrooms, the restrooms at the gym, beyond dire need of renovations. The report said in this description for the capital projects, steel urinals and wash basins need to be replaced. Walls, ceilings, and doors need to be painted. Light fixtures need to be replaced with high-efficiency fixtures. Project will improve functionality and aesthetics and improve spectator amenities. Amen. Project 1 should be the restroom renovations. Project 2 should be the restroom renovations. That is what needs to be taken care of. Whatever improves the experience for the spectators, the paying public, the people who pay to come watch the football. Bathrooms are important. You need to have all this stuff. You're entertaining these people for several hours. You need to take care of them. How do you take care of them? More points of sale, obviously. You want to be able to give them a variety of ways to spend their time, either by affordable options. You can have higher price options. You can have affordable options as far as concessions are concerned. And, of course, also proper bathrooms. And then in the capital project description, the stadium south bleacher removal. This is described as removing obsolete, unused, and unsafe bleachers in the south end zone of the football stadium. And the report says this will create a much safer environment and add opportunities for revenue generation. Well, what are those revenue generations? Well, that's the Jones C. Edwards Stadium South End Zone project. Enhanced stadium aesthetics and concession suite restroom areas. Plan would involve removing bleacher seating, built-out concourse, restroom concession opportunities, increase suite space, and premium seating options. I might get chastised for this, that's fine, but you know how they built out the end zone at Mountaineer Field back in the day? It's really nice. You could do something like that. You could really make that end zone a nice area. And again, you're looking at ways to improve the overall experience at Marshall University. Tennis Center, natatorium. Build an off-site joint facility with natatorium and tennis complex with courts both inside and out. This facility will be state-of-the-art and provide athletes top-notch experience. And the university description says, we would look to partner with health professionals and incorporate a sports medicine and science component that can be utilized by the public as well as athletics. The facility would also be run by the coaching staffs for outside rentals and clinics. Give your coaches an opportunity to use the facility when it's not in use, because tennis instruction's big, and not because people just want to go out and swing the racket. There are a lot of coaches, their second job probably makes them more than their first job when it comes to development of athletes. So these are some of the things that are in the capital project expansion. They want to do some things with Old Main a lot there. Also, outdoor track and soccer training complex. And there's no outdoor track. This is what the Capitol report says. No outdoor track for the women's track and field team. The track is needed for practice and competitions. Grass soccer field inside the track as well to augment the soccer programs. I told you Chris Grassy wants grass. He will get his grass. Chris wants grass. It's how soccer is played, on grass. I get the turf. I understand the turf. It's beautiful turf. Chris Grassy wants grass to augment the soccer programs. Could this eventually mean turf is going to be pulled up? I don't know. But grass, that's what they want. And I think Chris Grassy, I don't think he has a blank check, but he can definitely write a lot of notes and say, look, here's what we need. They want to do some more improvements to the Shuey. They want to improve, I won't go into all the details, but the Shuey Athletics Building air handler units, they want to make sure that that building is up to spec. I get that. They want to, here we go. This is Shuey Building Renovations Phase 2. They want to remodel and upgrade the second floor of the Shuey Building. General construction such as floor tiling, HVAC, office upgrades, etc., to bring a new, cleaner, updated look. And then Phase 3 will be the final phase, and it will look to upgrade and replace any older equipment or remodel any remaining office areas along with some exterior upgrades. And then there's the roof replacement, because that roof has been there since Woody Woodrum was there back in the early 1990s, the former equipment manager. Building has ceiling leaks often. Physical plant had to outsource roofing company for repairs, so it needs a resurfaced roof installation. I know a couple of guys if you need some good roofing. I do know a couple of guys. And trust me, I outsourced one time. I had a guy come over. It was like, I know a guy to do my roof, to fix it. And then when I got a real guy up there, nah, you need someone legit. I know a legit guy. If you need help with that roof, I know a legit guy. I'm completely happy. Yeah, you don't want a recruit coming in and there's leaks coming in. Hey, there's a trash can in the hallway. Why? Well, because we got a leak on the roof. Yeah, that's not the look I want as I'm trying to bring in recruits and try to bring in people to maybe make my team better. They want to do some other things like studio control room build out in the softball building. This will help with the ESPN Plus broadcast and productions for video boards at softball and baseball events. It will also function as the primary control room for football broadcast and serve as a secondary control room during scheduling conflicts in Olympic sports. You know those times where you complain, hey, why can't we watch the softball game? We're getting to watch the baseball game. Why can't we watch the softball game? Well, because you had to commit to one or the other. If you're taking softball, you can't take baseball. If you're taking baseball, you can't take softball. Now they need to expand that capability because now baseball's an option. Before it was just softball. They had softball. Baseball was out in the Y. Wasn't a brand new, state-of-the-art, modern facility that the Jack Cook Field facility has become. You want to do that. They want to do some track and field, swimming, locker room renovations because those are just not up to spec. Training table. They want to do some work there. They want to do. Here's one. I think this is smart. Just keep this facility as pristine as possible. Veteran Memorial Soccer Complex upgrades. Convert conference room into video suite with stadium seating and coaches video technology. Remedy Jack and Jill Walker Room training room issue to include alternative entry for visiting teams and trainers, increase seating capacity, and renovate current seating structure to include awning and increase chair back seating. They want to do some work with the weight room as well. There's a lot of things they want to work on. And that's a rundown of what the minutes and what the agenda is for the Thundering Herd. Now, will all of this get taken care of? Possibly. Will all of this get taken care of soon? Possibly. We don't know. But that's kind of the groundwork. That's the plan. That's the plan for the next few years, what they're trying to do to improve the athletic department. Quick timeout. We'll open up your text at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Show Dad some love on his day Sunday and shop Scioto Shoe Mart's Father's Day sale Thursday through Sunday. You'll find the entire selection of men's casual and dress shoes by Skechers, Nunbush, Florsheim, and more 25% off. Men's athletic shoes from Nike, Hoka, On, New Balance, and more $10 off regular price. Entire selection of men's sandals 20% off, Birkenstock excluded. Assorted men's Saucony styles regularly $139.98 to $159.98, now $79.98. Huge savings for your dad just in time for the Father's Day sale Wednesday through Father's Day the 16th at Scioto Shoe Mart, 615 Harding Avenue, Sciotaville.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Here's another Kindred Communications community chatter. The Cabell Huntington Health Department's conducting a series of evening vaccine clinics this summer. The dates are June 3rd, July 1st, August 5th, and September 9th, taking place from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the department at 703 7th Avenue. No appointment is necessary.
This Kindred Communications community chatter brought to you by the providers at Marshall OBGYN, online at marshallhealth.com/OBGYN.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a Colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
People's Bank, working together, building success. Member FDIC. Robin Fowler State Farm, with offices in Gallipolis and Middleport, Ohio. Online at agentrobinfowler.com. Erica Blake, Realtor in Ohio and West Virginia. Realty Exchange, Shane Radcliffe Broker.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think you would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay, Squirrel! Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It's your final Friday segment, The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. The text line this hour and every hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Don't forget, coming up tonight, Colcats Baseball 650 airtime. On Monday's show, we're going to give you the opportunity to win tickets to the next game. We'll do that on Monday, so if you don't have your tickets just yet, stick around on Monday. We'll give you an opportunity to win those tickets to every home Colcats game. We'll do that for the rest of the season right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Something we're going to be following a lot with the possibility of student athletes getting a lot more money. The congressional committee that was looking at this voted yesterday to move forward with a bill that would prevent college athletes from being deemed employees of their schools, conferences, or the NCAA. It was a vote in the U.S. House Committee on Education and the Workforce. It's possibly the first true progress we've seen by the college sports industry in a year-long push. It has been years in the making for federal law to help reshape college sports. Of course, this is right after the NCAA and the power conferences come up with the agreement to share more revenue with athletes as part of an antitrust lawsuit settlement. So this is obviously going to be a fight back and forth, but the ultimate push here is that are student athletes employees? Are they employees? And why would you want them to be employees? Why would you not want them to be employees? If the antitrust settlement is approved, it would provide the framework for a college sports model that allows schools to compensate athletes without turning them into employees. And I don't think that anyone wants to be an employee. That's a different beast altogether if you're an employee. I think they should maintain some of the student athlete aspect instead of just being employees. It's like, okay, we're giving you a bonus if you stay. What do we do? How would we do that anyway? This, of course, is part of this is to limit legal liability and prevent athletes from being employees, to kind of preserve a lot of systems that are in place and departments that just basically can't afford to pay their athletes like workers. And there is support from the NCAA and the power conferences when it comes to this bill. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Should student athletes be employees? What does it serve to have the student athlete and employee? If there's going to be compensation, I mean, to be quite honest, I think the marketplace would potentially decide a little bit as what your compensation is going to be worth and where you can go to maximize that compensation. We're already going to see that. I mean, if you're a really good quarterback, you might have an opportunity to bypass a school like Marshall and go to a higher level program if you are a higher level quarterback. And if you want that option, there might be higher compensation there. Yeah, that's going to be the challenge for a lot of athletic departments, but just to make them employees, what does that ultimately mean for athletic departments to have to pay everyone at that level? That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with you on Monday. We're going to wrap up the Coldcats home schedule tonight, 6:50 airtime. Jason Toy, Woody Woodrum, they have the call right here on ESPN, 94.1 and AM 930. Have a great weekend, everyone. For our producer, Ben Anderson, I'm Paul Swann. Good night.
Retransmitting in glorious FM on 94.1 W227BS Huntington. This is 930 WRVC Huntington, celebrating 100 years of broadcasting.